everybody, it's Tokkuri Yashi, and today we're going to be having a look at new Year Saren, who is the latest summonable character to be released in the game. And it seems like Saren has decided she likes to learn how to use magic. So let's jump over here then and have a look at her banner first quickly before we go in and have a look at the skills. She's a light character, as we have seen there, and magic. I believe this is the only Saren to be a magical character. All the rest of them are physical. Correct me there if I am wrong. So we're looking for her on the magical light team. We can see her banner is here till the 15th, which might be a good sign. It might be a good sign because I would then suspect that Juniors Hatsune and Kasumi will be returning for their unique equipments. That banner will probably overlap Saren. Then when this Saren banner goes away, we'll be getting Medusa, I should imagine, on the 15th, which suggests potentially only 2 new summonable characters this month, which would be kind of fair seeing as there was 4 last month. So there we go, that is Saren's banner. But what does Saren do? So first of all, we are going to go in and we're going to start doing this one a little bit differently here. We're going to start with skill 2 because this is another one of these characters that stacks tokens, and it's from the skill 2 where she gets the tokens, and we need to kind of understand this mechanic to get a little bit more of a feel of the rest of the skills. So her skill 2 here, first time she fires off this skill, it will apply this Firebird token effect on it. So after battle starts here, the first skill, as we've said, will start stacking Firebird tokens to Saren every time an ally uses a Union Best. That's a mechanic that this Saren is using to stack up the tokens. It's the Union Bests of allies. So hopefully we've got a lot of TP on the team, and maybe this Saren can help out with that a little bit. Additionally, this skill, and it will do this every time the skill is fired off, will greatly increase the magical attack power of all allies, moderately increase the magical crit, and moderately recover TP. This effect only increases the effects on the user. So this skill 2, it gives a buff to self and it gives a buff to allies. So what this skill is doing then additionally is buffing Saren's magical attack, magical crit, and restoring TP to herself. She gets more than her allies do. She gets 11,515 magical attack, 100 magical crit, and 250 TP. Allies only get 6,990 attack, 60 crit buff, and 150 TP. Well, there we go. The first skill that's firing off and giving a lot of TP is pretty good. And what we're going to do here is quickly jump over here and have a look at the loot pack, because that is quite important. As we can see, this skill 2 is fired off first, and it's fired off quite regularly at the start of the battle, but then after that it kind of disappears a little bit and it's not used very often. What is that? 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 actions in that loop, which means it's 1 in every 7 once she gets into the loop. So another one of these characters, like the Summer Saren, maybe like Liberate and Nozomi and stuff, which fire a lot of the TP right at the beginning of the fight, but as the fight goes on, the TP kind of drains up a little bit, and that skill only really becomes an attack buff with a little bit of TP there. This could maybe be a little bit of a problem, but as you can see, main 1, the skill 1, is going to be used a lot more. So we'll go and have a look at what those do next. So, Union Best. Here it is. So, on the Union Best, this will deal huge magical damage twice to an enemy in front of you, increase your magical attack power by a large amount, and here we go with the Firebird tokens. Damage is increased according to the number of Firebird tokens that Saren has got. So it's single target, 4.2 times magical attack, plus a modifier for the Firebird tokens. It maxes out at 6 times magical attack if you've got the Firebird tokens there, which I did say stacks up to a maximum of 20. So you're going to have a maximum of 20 Firebird tokens, and then 11,515 magical attack buff to herself. Now, seeing as she might be firing this off quite regularly at the beginning with all of that TP that she's giving herself, so that's going to give her maybe a nice magical attack buff at the start of the battle. So again, she's one of these characters that comes out of the gates very strongly. So let's move over then to her skill 1. Now this skill deals large magical damage again to one enemy character in front of you, slightly reducing their magical defense. As you can see, it's to 2.1 times magical attack. Again, and the modifier for Firebird tokens is a little bit smaller, maxing out at 3 times magical attack. 99 magical defense debuff. She gives herself TP as well, 250 TP to herself. Now it says here, if you have 10 or more Firebird tokens on her, then she's going to deal an additional large magical damage to one character in front of you. Again, that's the same amount of damage as the first one, 2.1 times magical attack, maxing out at 3 times magical attack with the Firebird tokens on there. And also debuffs magical crit damage taken by 5%, so enemies will be taking more magical damage from crits if you've got 10 or more Firebird tokens on when you are firing off this skill. As you can see there, with this skill 1 firing off quite regularly from her loot pattern, to be giving herself plenty of TP. TP to the team though might be a little bit lower than what you might expect. Now, like Saren being on a magical light team, there's quite a bit of competition there. I think on the magical light team, she is now the highest damage in here. She's a supporting with TP, DPS, and probably does the most damage on light physical as a DPS character. The TP that she is giving will help other characters as well, like especially the 6-star Yui with a Union Burst off quickly, which has got action speed on it. Be good for her. Maybe we'll see her coming back. Other characters on the team like Hatsune, New Year's, and the Astral Yui, both going to be getting unique equipment very soon. Also very good options on the team. I'm not sure which one will be booted off. Perhaps probably the Astral Yui. I think New Year's Hatsune will potentially stay on the team. EO, Xmas EO, who was another release for Light Magic recently, probably not even getting a look in anywhere. The only problem though with this Saren is, it seems like Xmas Lariel is better all around, even off element, than this Saren, which is just shows how good the Xmas Lariel is. That might be something that you may think about when trying to summon for this character. I know Saren is a big fan favourite, so if she's one of your favourites, that might be the deciding factor whether you summon for her or not. I'm going to be skipping her because, well, we don't know what Medusa's going to be like when she comes out. She's going to be a new character in game that hasn't got a playable form. And then we're moving into Anniversary. Hopefully the Anniversary characters will be pretty good as well. But it is looking like Xmas Lariel was maybe the one we should have summoned for if you, like me, skip for it. Anyway, there we go. That is the New Year's Saren. Let me know what you think of her. Good luck to anybody that is going to be trying to summon for her. I am Tokkuri Yashi, and I'll see you all again for another video. Bye, 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 bye. Hey, hey, hey.